Je vous demande d'applaudir l'Australie.
Australia!
Of all of Australia's international sporting teams, surely there are none so practical, so artistic as this one. The Senior Australian Butchers team. The venue is Paris. The event, the World Butchers Championships. And a scene to rival the most thrilling of sports.
16 nations this year, and yeah, getting bigger and bigger. The atmosphere on the day, it was electric is how I'd sort of describe it, as it sort of is most years. But this year especially, with the addition of the Belgium team, they brought air raid sirens with them. The French had hundreds of apprentices there with horns blowing in them. It was just exactly like a European sort of soccer match.
But those soccer fans are intense, and so are the families of the butchers competing.
It did make it a little bit tricky at times, working away and trying to get our products done and trying to communicate with the other guys of the team. You couldn't hear a word anyone was saying. But no, the atmosphere was second to none, absolutely amazing.
Tom Boucher's ears may still be ringing, but he's abuzz with pride and adulation. The feeling of representing his country on the world stage.
We're there, we've got the Australian flags with 5 of your great mates. A lot of nerves, a lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline, just a whole vast array of emotions for sure.
It's not something you can really prepare for, like the atmosphere and the noise and things that happen in that environment.
Such a great feeling, and the whole day you leave buzzing. Everyone stays around the arena as long as they want because they just want it to last even longer. So to be able to go back and re-watch those moments, yeah, it sort of puts a lump in the throat.
Each country had their team of butchers, 6 butchers, and they had their support crews as well.
The 6 in the Australian team hail from various states, so meeting as a team for practice is never easy. And on the eve of departure for Paris, final practice plans were blown away, quite literally.
Our last training session we were supposed to have was going to be a bit of an open training session at a lamb expo that was up on the Gold Coast.
Well, Cyclone Alfred decided to hit, and yeah, a week out before the competition, the team missed their final preparation. So a bit disappointing for them, but they managed and they, held their heads up high and arrived in Paris ready to go.
To compete in what the trade calls the Olympics of Butchers. With a tongue-in-cheek acknowledgement of last year's Summer Olympics, also held in Paris. And the city lived up to those expectations.
The whole crowd get involved when we do the countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, and you just get goosebumps. It's electric. The teams are given a carcass of beef, pork, lamb, chickens, and they have 3.5 hours to create as many beautiful value-added retail-ready products as they can. So it's quite incredible to see what the other nations come up with and their take on retail products and what their consumers are interested in buying and what trends that they're interested in.
Teams can provide their own seasonings, spices, marinades and garnish to finished products that must be eye-catching but easily cooked and would readily sell in a retail setting. Independent judges score each team based on technique, skill, workmanship, product innovation and the overall finish and presentation.
They're judged on the speed and the cleanliness and the bones and the percentage of waste, and they've got to use everything up and they've got to keep clean and tidy themselves. It's full on. It is just unbelievable, and these guys are so passionate and they're very, very good.
They went in as professionals. They were calm, they were cool, they were collected, and the teamwork was incredible. They were cheering each other on. I get a little bit emotional and teary watching their camaraderie.
With the previous World Championships in the United States in 2022, the Australians were picked for first place by the German team, who were again the favourite this time. But the Aussies were confident they had their measure. Tom's sister Danielle, at least, thought they'd taken the honours.
I was so sure Australia were going to win. They had the most impressive display. They were tidy, they were clean, there was no mess around. Everything was perfectly displayed, and it was just a total shock to not have won the competition.
The Germans, I think, probably thought they might have won it in the end, but we were pretty close to Germany. We were only sort of, I think it was 0.15 of a mark off them. So yeah, we were neck and neck with them, and France beat us both by about a full point in the end.
Winning bronze was an amazing effort. And Brett Laws, a retail butcher from Miranda, a suburb in southern Sydney, was named in the World All-Star team.
The work he does on his products and his style, it's something that everyone around the world in butchering is sort of trying to copy. So it was great for Brett to get the recognition on the day as one of the world's best value adders.
In the world of meat, the Boucher name is illustrious. Peter Boucher, Tom's father, began the family-run artisan butchery and deli and has been supplying premium quality free-range meats and meat products to customers across Melbourne since 1983. Tom follows a long family tradition.
Tom's a third-generation butcher. My father was a butcher. His 4 brothers were butchers, and then a lot of those 4 brothers, there's been quite a few sons all go on and be butchers. We love every bit of it, our family does. I mean, I've got 3 children involved in our business at the moment. We've got Tom, who does a great job, and we've got 2 girls. Jackie lives in Sydney, she looks after the online and marketing, and Danielle looks after the wholesale account side of things, and of course my wife Sue been heavily involved.
To make the Aussie team, each butcher had to pass a series of auditions, demonstrating an array of skills to a judging panel. Tom's top talent is his presentation skills, on show at the family shop in the affluent suburb of Toorak.
So every day when I'm putting a display in the cabinet, I've sort of got my competition eyes on and making sure it's looking $1 million, and I like to think the customers notice. And I think the more colour and the more sort of visual enhancements you can put on a product, just it goes a long way.
That talent saw Tom named in a world's best butchers team at the last World Championships.
And Tom happened to make that world team as the best display, so I'm very proud.
The Paris competition was the 6th time Tom has represented Australia.
I joined the team in 2012 when it was the first competition outside of Australia and New Zealand. It was over in England at the Yorkshire Show. And that was just in a paddock at an agricultural show, so it's pretty surreal to see where it's gone, and you know, the stadiums that we've competed in. Every team in every country does everything a different way.
So like each country is very different in what they offer, keeping in with their cuisines and like highlighting their specialties. And Australia being that country that is very multicultural, we're lucky that we draw from different cuisines and highlight different aspects of food, and we create these different products that come together.
You know, it's great for the industry. It really is. It lifts the profile of the industry.
It's a pretty incredible event for our industry. It's not really looked on to be a very glamorous industry, so anything that showcases the talent and the artistry that the butchers put into their craft, it's incredible.
At his shop in Fitzroy in Inner Melbourne, master butcher Troy Wheeler heartily agrees.
My role in the team is value adding, so what that means is that I get given some different proteins, whether it be chicken, pork, beef and lamb, and I turn those traditional primals or those traditional sub-primals into a product that it's like appealing in a retail butcher shop setting and cookable and relatable to what a consumer would be looking for.
Tom has learnt a great deal from Troy.
I did my apprenticeship under Troy, which was great because Troy's very meticulous, and so he sort of passed on a hell of a lot of knowledge to myself, and it's been great for working in the team. Troy and I work opposite each other.
In his younger years, Troy refined his craft working for Peter Boucher. In his 50-year career, Peter has seen butcher shops transform to meet a generation who've travelled more and demand more.
Their expectations were high. They travelled the world, they saw different things, so we really had to sort of lift ourselves and give them what they wanted. Well, when you go back to my early days, you know, we made sausages that was a thick beef sausage, a thin beef sausage and pork. Well, you know, if you look in our cabinet today, you'll find everything from Moroccan to Italian to then you've got pea halloumi, and it's unbelievable.
The consumer trend is towards ready-made, convenient meals and smaller servings.
The biggest thing is the amounts of meat. We don't sell the big volumes we used to. You sell smaller portions, yes, But the detail and the attention to detail that needs to go into that, yeah, quite amazing. That's the change.
It's forever evolving and getting better, and it's really cool to see.
Just like the World Butchers Competition. This contest between the world's maestros of meat is growing in stature. These championships began as a contest between Australia and New Zealand in 2011. Now they're billed as the greatest butchers event on earth. The success of the Australian team in Paris is big news for Australian butchers. Those who have been closely following the team's progress say their achievement is nothing short of inspirational. Hello, Tim. Ashley, pleased to meet you.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is your fantastic shop.
Come on in, please.
What an amazing array. Ah. Retail butcher Ashley Haynes was keenly watching the Paris competition via a live stream.
And for our Aussie boys to go across there and finish third, just an amazing effort to play away, an away game, on their terms, but using their equipment and their produce. Yeah, just phenomenal. And what that does for the whole industry, it reinvigorates all of us along the chain. I think it gives us all a little aspiration to maybe be part of something like that, and that should inspire everybody. It's a great concept, and we love watching what's happening there, and congratulations to those that were involved.
Based at Finley in southern New South Wales, Ashley is the third generation of his family to follow the butcher trade. Like the Boucher family, for the Haynes, it's also intergenerational.
I'm third generation. My son Harry's just joined us here, so he's fourth generation. Normie Haynes started it all off in Tocumwal, and he had 4 boys, and they all became butchers. And my father was one of those in the middle, and he came out here to Finley. And today, daughter Sarah, a speech pathologist, is also lending a hand. Ashley says butchers offer far more than supermarkets. I think it's really important for a town that you have a local butcher, so obviously if you don't support him, he's not going to be there. But it's a trade that you can teach, and the service that he provides back to you I think is really important. You can get whatever you want, cut the way you want it, and of course that service where you can deliver it to the car and help the consumer along the way on how they actually serve it. And yeah, I think there's lots of bonuses in dealing directly with your butcher. So way better eating experience, you would say? Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a better experience all round.
More consumers are more aware of like the food they're eating, the provenance of where it's coming from, definitely more educated in cooking, so I think we've come along that journey with our local community.
After coming so close to winning gold in the past 2 Butchers Olympics, what's next for this Australian team? Naturally, it's hoping to go one better next time. Where that will be held is not yet decided, but the Aussies are hoping it'll be on home soil.
Because they're all so seasoned, they know what they're doing now. They are a fine oiled machine. So we'll see what happens for the next competition. We don't know where it's going to be yet. Hopefully Australia. That would be really cool.
And Tom is eager to again test his skills.
Coming back to try to win again would be great. To be fair, I'd probably do it as long as I can. Yeah, being able to wear the green and gold and carry the Australian flag, it's something that brings a great deal of pride.